Hey guys. So, everybody covering, actually, pretty much everybody is covering this story today. And I heard it from a guy by the name of Yellow Flash 2, but when I did the looky, it looks like everybody's covering it, including the big guys, right? The biggity big normal, you know, your Screen Rant. It doesn't get big, and Collider and all the rest of them. Everybody's covering this. Listen to me. Everybody's covering this. This isn't unique to me. This is now everywhere. Anybody who is interested in this type of information is being exposed to this information. If you are at all interested in Hollywood information, this stuff is now inside of your brain. I'm bringing this up because it's relevant, obviously. Now, the Birds of Prey director's sizzle reel pitch included Trump, The Bachelor. Birds of Prey director Cathy Yan explained the sizzle reel pitch she put together for the film, which aimed to show the worst of modern womanhood. By the way, want to know what she's all about, at least according to IMDb. IMDb isn't always right. But a lot of these actors, a lot of these Hollywood types, they just have their one note. It's like, I'm a feminist and everything is a feminist. That's it. Everything, I'm a feminist, so everything is a feminist, and that's all I know how to do. That's all I do. I do nothing else. I just do feminism. Same thing with black. I'm black with a racial chip on my shoulder. I have racial grievances, and that's all I do. That's all I know how to do. That's all I care about. That's all I do. That's all I do. I'm a black person that makes black movies, calling out shitty white people. That's it. That's it. That's all I do. And so on and so on and so on. Now, it's one thing to have a specialty, right? It's like I do World War II movies. I do World War II movies. I do nothing but World War II movies. Da pa pa pa, or I do even more specific, right? Dig down, dig down into anything really. I do Godzilla movies. I do Godzilla movies. I'm nothing but Godzilla. It's just Godzilla. Me equals Godzilla all the time, everywhere. That's it. That's all there is. If you want to get back to doing Godzilla in some way, then you give me a call. Otherwise, go away. There's now some of it is just like this thing that made us all super wealthy and healthy and prosperous is what is it? The division of labor, specialization of labor. So you're gonna and there's lots of entertainment to go around. Um, Zooming into a specific genre is nothing, right? It's not a bad idea. Like it's good, like whatever. But she was just in charge of $100 million Hollywood movie, and I don't care about producer. Producer every ranges from nothing to a lot. So let's just go to director. Short. So nothing. These are sizzle reels, really. And then something called fucking Dead Pigs. Now, what is Dead Pigs about? A bumbling pig farmer, a feisty salon owner, a sensitive busboy, a homo, an expat pact architect. That's somebody who's an expatriate, somebody who basically moved from one country to another. and a disenchanted rich girl converge and collide as thousands of dead pigs float down the river towards a rapidly modernizing Shanghai. Well, it's a Shanghai film. This is probably Shanghai sensibilities. I don't know what Shanghai people thought of this movie. Numbers would mean nothing to me, because if this is a Shanghai movie for Shanghai people, I would, like, anybody could make a movie. And by the way, anybody could put a movie here. This could have made 14 pennies. Or it could have made, for a Shanghai movie in Shanghai, it could have made a lot of money. But let's be honest, Shanghai ain't that big. It's not even like China. This is like, you know, smaller than Japan, I think. Shanghai is tiny, 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 tiny. But whatever. I have no idea if this is good. It doesn't sound like feminist filth. Maybe this Shanghai person came over to America and they filled her head with retard, which happens, right? Like this, one of the most craziest feminists there is. A lot of these crazy feminists come from overseas because they had it bad where they came from. And Shanghai isn't bad, I doubt, towards women. I haven't. Nothing inside of my brain leads me to believe that Shanghai is bad towards women, but certainly in the West, in the Hollywood and everywhere else, there's a made up, retarded level of required feminism, right? There's just like an insanity to all the degrees. Feminism should have been finished as soon as everybody said that yes, women can own property. As soon as that was a law, checkbox, okay, that's one thing. As soon as um, everybody knew that you don't get to put your hands on a woman unless she's okay. Now, I'm not going to say it's never going to happen, but let's just say it's a law. As soon as you're not allowed to touch a woman without her permission is a law. And I'm talking about basic law. I'm not talking about fucking nothing else. That's it. And both of those laws were passed, what, forever ago? So everything else that feminists have been doing has just been mental retardation. That's all you get. You get to, own, like, and you don't even, like, the vote was even stupid. The reason the vote was stupid is because for the kings of England, the reason why they gave the man the right to vote is because he had to fight in the wars. So they thought that they would be happier to fight in the wars if they actually had a say in the government. But the girls got the vote without having to sign up for the draft. So, anyway. But anyway, so yeah, just zoomity, zoom, zoom, zoom. You do like you do a couple of shorts, like for your high school and your college projects. And then you do a local movie in Shanghai. And all of a sudden you're doing a comic book movie in America by going into Warner Brothers and saying, okay, let's just continue. We aim to show the worst of modern womanhood. Like you know. Really? The worst of this, by the way, even if you saw this movie and you liked it, is what you're about to hear have anything to do with anything that you saw? Is she like super mega talented and she was able to convey the worst of modern womanhood? I bet you if you asked her what is the worst of modern womanhood, straight up, she would have no fucking clue. Just like every other, empty-headed fucking feminist. right? What is the worst of modern womanhood? What, high heels? You have to decide which shirt to buy. Modern womanhood is pretty fucking good. You can decide whether or not you want to be a slut or a good girl. You get to decide whether or not you want to be a stay-at-home mom or a working girl. Oh yeah, that's terrible, right? You still, you get to decide whether or not you're going to play the victim or you're going to be the 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 strong, independent woman, and you can switch back and forth between the two. What's the worst of modern womanhood? Actually, it's freedom of choice, and that's actually a real thing. If she were to say this, which she wouldn't, because she's probably, I don't know. I don't know if she's a fucking airhead, but I mean, when you are attached to something so shit, probably the person behind it is shit. I mean, yeah, and from everybody saying that they had to get a man to come in and fix the movie for her and all the rest of it. Anyway, so choice is called choice. The I guess the fallacy of choice. The what do they call it? The freedom conundrum or something. And I'm going to give you two examples. And we're talking about food. Okay? So you go into the grocery store and you need some mustard. Okay? You need some mustard. And then you get to the mustard aisle. And there are 10 different types. 10, each with 10 brands. Each with 10 flavors. And 10, and each one with, say, 3 different size containers. So you got 300 unique items, and all you wanted was mustard. And that's not unreasonable, right? Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but my point is, you're standing. All you wanted was fucking mustard. Now, if you don't care, you just grab. But you're sitting there and you're looking at prices, and then you're trying to do the math with different sizes, or you're looking at flavors, and maybe you just pick out the cheapest one, or maybe you just pick out the most expensive one. But you're looking, maybe you don't know anything. It's just your wife said go get some mustard, so now you're here, and you don't know. So choice can sometimes be a bad thing. If okay, so. Over in when the Berlin Wall fell, in Germany. So after World War II, America and the Soviet Union divided up Germany, and they divided it up. They said, this is your half and this is our half. So the our half was capitalism and all that, but the Soviet Union half was Russian and communism, right? So, obviously, the American side was going to be prosperous and happy and healthy, and the other side wasn't. So, like 1 second later, people started to escape the Russian side to go to the American side of Germany. But all of a sudden, one day, the Russians know this, that the communists know that nobody wants to live there, and they have to, they know, especially back in the day. So they built a wall. And it came up overnight. They got it was all secret, all done in secrecy. And they were behind the scenes, gathering up all of the everything. Gather, up, all the everything, all the tools. And then all of a sudden it was boom, go time. And they built a wall in the middle of the night. They literally built a wall in the middle of the night. And that was the Berlin Wall. And that was to keep the communists in. But that separated families, that separated lots of people, right? And you would be killed if you were trying to jump the wall and all the rest. So it became the Berlin Wall. Berlin being in Germany and all the rest, right? So they literally built a wall in like no time at all. Stalin. I'm pretty sure it's still Stalin. And when communism equals poverty, so that's what was going on there, and capitalism equals prosperity, so that was what was happening over there. And when the Berlin Wall fell, the poor motherfuckers over in the uh, communist side, after they got a taste of freedom for just a short period of time, again, these are just Germans separated by ideology, just like Korea, North and South. They're all Koreans, but separated by ideology. Obviously, one good, one bad. All you got to do is open your fucking eyes, dumbasses. Why we have still that people that have access to books and information that are still talking about the socialism and communism is beyond me. That is a government propaganda, stupid. The government has chosen to hire all the communists to fill the heads of young people with communism. That's all what that is. Even though everything around us, everything everywhere, proves all of that entire thing incorrect. But anyway, it keeps happening. It's just whatever, right? I guess the government wants a certain amount of communism, or maybe they're switching. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Anyway, so when the two sides of Berlin started to mix and mix and mix and meet and mix and make meet. Now, like, there was generations that have went by and they died without seeing their families, but there would be descendants of family members, and they would meet and see each other and get to connect again, right? Because the wall was up for quite a while. I don't know exactly how long. At least 50 years, right? And if you were 50 at the time, you'd be dead by the time it came down. So one of the people from the communist side came over to the capitalist side of Germany, and one of the things I remember very clearly, I forget exactly how this went, all the things. I forget all the details, 100%. All I remember is the sentiment. I don't even remember the exact words, but she didn't like the fact that there was so much food in the grocery store. She said it was much simpler to just eat cabbage every day. Because every day they ate cabbage, and I think bread and cabbage. Cabbage and bread. Every breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Cabbage and bread and cabbage. And I'm sure they got, experts at cooking it in different ways, frying it, boiling it, raw, all the things, right? And she didn't like the choice. She said going to a grocery store, there was just too much, and it was paralyzing. It was just it was filling her day with choices that she found were unnecessary and a waste of time. An unnecessary waste of time. As a side note, I recall a video, a man, or I don't know, is it a video? I don't know. But anyway, a guy from Russia came to America. No, I think it's a story. I don't know. I do not know. Could have been old, could have been new, don't know. Um, sometimes these stories just flutter in my head and then flutter back out again. But anyway, this that's cabbage story from Chicky Poo that saw the full grocery store. You know, that's about choice, right? Another one about food is some guy came from some, uh, maybe it was North Korea, I don't know. But anyway, a kid came up to a pop machine. He was just landed. I don't know how he landed. I don't know. Listen, don't ask. This is a terrible, terrible, detailed story. But anyway, he saw a kid go up to the pop machine and put his nickel in or something. Maybe it was a long time ago. And then he got um, a Coke, and then he went on and did his thing. And this man had never seen anything like that before. So he was trying to figure out how the machine went. And then the boy came back out of the store or something like that. And he asked the boy how it worked. And he cried. You know, putting his nickel in and getting the pop and having a drink. He remembers it being the happiest day of his life. Anyway. So, yeah, just, and when asked about that thing, he was like, well, you know, Coca-Cola was a brand of America, and it was evil. And he saw, like I said, a kid just, you know, put a nickel in a pop machine and get a pop out and drink it. And he had never had one before. And it just, the whole story behind the whole thing was just amazing, right? Anyway, so, and by the way, Shanghai is a really good country. It's not like an evil Asian country. Shanghai is doing very well. It's very prosperous. The ladies there are very wealthy. Um, some would say it's even better than America in many ways. So I don't know. You can look up Shanghai yourself, but there ain't nothing wrong with Shanghai. Shanghai is goody good good all the way through. So for this, like I said, they come over, they get off the fucking boat onto the land of America, and then they go full retard for this feminist crap or the whatever crap, right? They go fucking overboard. And it happens with Muslim women and everything. It happens with them all. They see this fucking shit and they go fucking balls deep into and they go fucking crazy. They take it literally when a woman says I've been raped 12 times today, and then you say, what do you mean? Yeah, that guy looked at me, this guy said hello, and and then she goes, oh my god, yeah, you were raped 12 times today. That, like, they take this stuff seriously. And maybe there's a nuance to the standard feminist where it's like, yeah, don't you understand that we're just overstating everything because we're just clamoring for more privileges? We want more money and we want more special privileges, so we're over exaggerating everything. Now, we never talk about it, we don't admit it, but we're just, screaming it. We're like children flopping ourselves down in the middle of the grocery store because because mom said we can't have that chocolate bar. So we're going to flop ourselves down and throw a temper tantrum. We're going to go, I hate you, and I hate you, and I hate you, and I hate you, and you're evil, and you're being made. Ah. And then mom gives them a chocolate bar, and then they shut up, and it's like I love you, mom, right? That's kind of like what's happening with feminism. It's like they just want something, so they're gonna flop themselves down in the middle of, make a scene, flop around like a dead fish, a dying fish, and until they get what they want, and then they just move on. But you're not supposed to take it seriously. But sometimes you just like, oh fucking, here's your fucking chocolate bars, shut up. But then You get family courts that are gross and disgusting. You get unfair practices. You get women making movies based on um, pretty much nothing. $100 million movies. And based on Trump and The Bachelor. So, don't fucking come to me. Everybody says, oh, Gary, you're bringing too much politics into the movies. Why do you keep talking about politics? Why do you keep bringing up politics? Why are politics keep being brought up? Why does your face keep talking about politics? What's going on? Why do you keep, you're the bad guy. You're the bad boy who keeps bringing politics up into the conversation. Gary, why do you keep bringing up politics? Why do you keep talking about Hollywood and their agenda and their politics and their agenda? Well, all you got to do is say I hate Trump and The Bachelor in order to get $100 million to make a fucking comic book movie. How about that? How about the executives sitting around with all the bank accounts and the checkbook? They're just sitting around waiting for people to come in and say I hate Trump and feminism, and then they get to make a movie. And don't get me wrong, like that's how it is. The executives are like, you can make whatever movie you want, but if it doesn't fit their agenda, the executives are sitting around. They'll listen to it, listen to movies pitches all day, every day. But the only ones they give money to are the ones that fit their agenda. And so you have to fit their agenda. You have to pitch movies that that they'll like. So anyway, let's continue. Birds of Prey director Kathy Yan revealed her sizzle reel for Warner Bros. Included Trump and The Bachelor. Birds of Prey is the latest DCEU film to arrive in theaters, having made its debut last month. Starring Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, the film brought DC Comics group, the Birds of Prey, to life as they work to protect Cassandra Cain, Ella J. Bosco, or whatever, from the twisted Roman Zionists. It also starred Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Journey Smollett Bell. Oh my goodness, look at that, eh? Her brother is Jussie Smollett. I didn't know her last name was Smollett Bell. See, this is a clear sign of problems in society. Because now, when your daughter or your son or your daughter, who's named Smollett Bell, gets married, or sorry, your daughter, is she going to become and Journey? Really? What a fucking hippie name, eh? Smollett. What are you going to name the next one? Smollett Bell Johnson? And then it's going to be Smollett Bell Johnson. You're just going to keep adding names. We're going to do whatever we want. We're special snowflakes. Marriage is supposed to be two people coming together to become one. That's the purpose of changing the last name. Becoming one. And, yes, he is the head of the family. His input into the family is more important than hers. He's bigger and stronger, and he is tasked with keeping the family on track, right? And all the stuff. Protecting and providing. Really, if you think about marriage down to the basic roots of it, down to the nitty, well, first of all, it's about just a guy wanting to put his pee-pee in a vajayjay. Okay? But she's supposed to be trained, and 100 years ago, this is the way it was. She's supposed to fully understand that the pee-pee in the vajayjay equals a baby, because it always did. Each and every time. There was no birth controls. Okay? Pee-pee in the vajayjay equals baby. Now, if she's going to have a baby, then she needs to be taken care of, right? This isn't a fucking world of welfare and a world of bullshit of daycare or anything. You're out in the middle of the farm. You're out in the middle of nowhere. There's no electricity. It's like fucking 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 500 years ago, right? PP in the vajayjay equals a baby, so she had to make sure that he was worthy. So she didn't let him, nobody let them get there until everybody quizzed him to death over a period of years, and he proved himself worthy. And he proved himself worthy to put the PP in the vajayjay by being big and strong and being wealthy, or as wealthy as could be. That's it. That's what marriage is, folks. Prove your worth to her so that she knows that she can rely on you to protect and provide, you know. And if you go back 1,000 years, protection, hey, you don't want to get eaten by wolves. He's got to protect. He's got to know what to fucking do, right? The drunk, you know, the drunk loser down the street or, you know, up the road, up the mountain. He's got to be strong. He's got to protect and provide. Because I don't care what you say, when you got a baby, even if you're just holding a baby, you equal handicapped. It's a handicap. There's no doubt. You know, and we know it just, you stop being stupid. You know, we know what all this is about, but you know, you got all sorts of complicated bullshit going on. We're so equal, but no, that sometimes we're a special snowflake, and sometimes we're better. Oh, but sometimes we're victims. It's like, all you got to do is nail it all back to the beginning, and then you understand it all. But nope, nobody's going to do that. Nobody. They just want to live in the stupid of today. I'm so woke. I'm so special. I'm such a snowflake. Oh my goodness, he raped me with his eyes. Oh, I'm such a strong, empowered woman. I'm so good. Oh my God, they didn't give me the job because I'm a girl. I'm gonna sue them. I'm just so, you know, incredibly awesome and everything. I can. Oh my God, a tranny's entering my sports and punched me in the face and broke my nose. You know, it's all the same. It's just all bullshit. Um, so yeah, and this to me is not even a marriage. I don't care what anybody has to say about anything. That's not a marriage. Once you start doing that, it means like you're just destined to fail. And you probably shouldn't have been with the person in the first place. Anyway, upon its release, Birds of Prey struggled at the box office. It opened to lower than expected 33 million and has since reached only 79 million domestically. To help combat its box office woes, Warner Brothers rebranded the film on ticket buying websites, whereas before the film was listed as Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn, it has since been listed as Harley Quinn Birds of Prey, in an attempt to draw in fans who are more familiar with Robbie's Harley, who previously appeared in 2016 Suicide Squad. Despite its box office issues, however, Birds of Prey has been well received by audiences and especially by women. Really? No, it hasn't. This is the spin, right? This is okay. Now you just reminded me that I'm reading a scumbag. If it was well received by the women, then they would have gone out to see it, and they're not. I mean, let's just go. So here's the most recent full day, Wednesday. Birds of Prey is down here. It, according to this website, it costs 82 million, and it has brought in 80 domestic, and 110 overseas. That ain't enough. That is not well received by the ladies or by anybody. That's not well received. Like half of the planet are women. If women were receiving this movie well, they would have gone to see it, and they're not. A bunch of dumpy, frumpy, lumpy um, women does not even excite women because you've got your head full of scrambled egg brain, feminist, stupid, Trump derangement syndrome retardation. Dumpy, frumpy, lumpy women don't excite women either, and that's why they didn't come to see it. So, yeah, the spin, the lies here, right? And especially by women. Um, that largely seems to be due to Yan's influence and the vision she brought to the film. So, while speaking to the New Yorker, Yan explained how, after getting a meeting with Warner Brothers about potentially directing Birds of Prey, she put together a sizzle reel that was set to a homemade remix of Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend and embodied the worst of modern womanhood. So, the worst of modern womanhood, like she would even know what that is, combined with Marilyn Monroe, Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend. So I want money. Like, just show me, just give me the big rock. Show me that you're worthy. So, show me that you're super mega rich. Yeah, girls like money. There's no doubt. Actually, everybody does. But this, this, Marilyn Monroe performance is definitely girls like money. Give me a big diamond, and then you can. Then you see, like what I was just talking about. Show me the big diamond. Show me that you're worthy, and then you can get to the vajayjay, and then we can make some babies, and then I'll know that it's just a symbol of you know um, I'm worthy, or like you are worthy enough to get close to my vajayjay. That's what it is. Life is a lot simpler than you think it is, folks. Um, like scenes from Bachelor proposals. Um, the De Beers diamond commercial, Kim Kardashian's vampire facial, Fox anchors talking about women, Trump saying grab them by the pussy. After I showed the video, there was just silence. Yes, we have a fully crazy, retarded woman to head up girl, our stupid girl, fake feminist, bullshit, mentally retarded, and she knows how to point. Well, she's pointed a camera before. I don't, like I said, a man had to come in and fix the movie, but she clearly has Trump derangement syndrome, and just like us. So let's read that again. Like scenes from Bachelor proposals. So guys proposing to the girls at the end. I don't know what, like this um, Bachelor show is a chick flick, it's TV for chicks. I don't watch it. Um, yeah, I get it, girls. You're looking for the best one, but you're doing it all wrong and your head is full of retards, so that's why it's kind of all fucking up all over the place. Now, I don't know if Margot Robbie has found the one. I understand she's pretty happily married and has been for quite some time. And maybe she's just doing what she's kind of supposed to do. But again, well, maybe she'll be divorced and then she'll be on to her second, then third, then fourth, then fifth relationship. I don't know. But, um, like we all, I don't know. It's just like these people are making relationships complicated when they're not. It's just study the man, study the fuck out of the man before you open up the vajayjay, before you open up the knees. study, 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 and then employ everyone. See, that was what chaperones were about, to make sure that he didn't get close to the vajayjay, um, and so that he was actually seeing the way the interactions were going on. The whole family was involved. You had to ask for you had to ask her dad for the hand in marriage. You were quizzed by everyone for a very long period of time to make sure that you were the right one. And everybody did their best to make sure this was the right one. Because endless divorces and singleness after you have kids and to have this dad and then that dad and then no dad and then ba ba ba, just it's just a fucking train wreck. And it's all because, you know, you got some retard squished into your brain. Fucking, we knew how to do it. Now you're just bouncing up and down like fucking every cock is a pogo stick, and you're just bouncing up and down, and whatever one you want is like, oh, I'm a free bird. Oh, I don't know how to do relationships anymore. Well, you broke the relationship thing long time ago by opening up those knees for unworthy men. Yeah, you chose the here and now pleasure over relationships. Every time a woman fucks a guy that she's not married to, she's fucking up relationships. And why? Because men don't have to be worthy. They have to be bad, or they have to be sexy, or it just complicates the fuck out of everything. You know, they just have to go to the gym. They have to, say a couple of cool words, and down come the panty, and then in come, the vajayjay's all open. So when men don't have to protect and provide, then it throws the whole thing off. And then you get women turned off the whole relationship, so they don't want to have kids. And then it just becomes like, well, now you have to bring in the immigrants to replace the current population because they don't want to fucking make kids. Because they got fucking stupid movies to make. Because diamonds are just diamonds now. Diamonds are a girl's best friend? Well, no. Now just diamonds are diamonds. The girls are buying them themselves. They don't represent anything. You took the meaning out of the diamond. You decided to do a movie career instead of a husband. Like now the diamond, you went to go buy it yourself. Rather than a man presenting you with a diamond to, ask you if he's worthy. So, yeah. So I guess you can sort of, take all of these elements of relationships and just kind of, your that old family photo from 100 years ago of the big ass family. You can cut out pieces of it, and you just say, well, I don't have any. I only have one kid, but but it's from this family and this, and you just keep you just broke up the whole thing, and now it's just like a bunch of pieces, and then you are like sad and upset and crying and trying to put a life together, and then you just start putting those pieces together with scotch tape and black tape and duct tape and all this kind of stuff. It's like, well, I don't have any. My one and only adopted kid from wherever, there's no DNA, my DNA in there, and they turned out to be gay because I kept putting them in a dress. So I guess instead of grandkids, we'll just, buy a dog, you know, and just kind of patch up the life with all these other things. Well, yeah, I'm not married. I don't have a ring on my finger, but why don't I just go shopping? And so on and so on and so on and so on. Just keep patching up all the BS. And then you have the Hollywood types just teaching people how to be even stupider. It's like, I'm sure the Warner Brothers people, there was just silence. It's like Trump derangement syndrome to the extreme. Like, let's go through that again. Scenes from Bachelor proposals, So she's, I don't know, whatever the fuck that means. So she's in tune with the girls, but it's usually hot girls and hot guys, right? Isn't that what The Bachelor is about? You know, I don't know. I don't know why that. And then De Beers Diamond commercial. I don't like maybe old ones. I don't know. Are they still like um, those things where the perfect man presents a perfect girl with a diamond, and then diamonds are forever, just like your marriage? Kim Kardashian's vampire facial. I have no fucking idea what that is. Oof. What is this, blood? Just tell me what the fuck it is. I fucking hate people that just don't shut the fuck up. The vampire. So this is her blood, or this is somebody else's blood. What the fuck? Did they get it from a bat? Just what the fuck is it? Define it. And then you get, so now I'm done. Now I don't care about your vampire facial. You can go fuck yourself, internet. By the way, somebody needs to invent a thing, okay, an add on that you can literally delete Google search results by if they want money. So all of the, like, just let me delete all of the websites that like that. You go to the website, they want a subscription, just so I can, delete them. Even if they come up, you got 10 results, right? Just delete all the ones that, or a label beside all the ones that charge cachola, so I can just skip, 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 skip. Maybe there is a thing, and I gotta look for it. But I mean that I fucking hate that. I'm not gonna fucking buy your fucking website to find out what it got. And if I really cared about what a vampire facial was, I'd do some more research. But see, this is supposed to be just quickety quick stuff, not fucking. Well, I'll tell you the answer for $5. Um, Fox anchors, of course, they're Fox anchors, right? Talking about women. I wonder what they were saying. Do you think, I just wonder, right? Maybe like me, right? Like here, right now, their head is full of feminist mashed potato brains. It's all stupid. They just overcomplicated the whole fucking thing. We've always known how to do it and how it's done. And then, ladies have a choice now, and they just, and they keep complaining all the way, and it's just fucking mentally retarded. So it all breaks down. It just keep everybody so confused that you have to fucking bring in people from other countries to fucking fill the gap for the next generation, because this generation just doesn't know how to make relationships between men and women work, because women are giving up their pussy. So if you actually look at it, who was the first one to not stop doing their job? Listen, the PP wants the vajayjay, and the vajayjay wants the PP too, but back in the everything, he had to prove himself, right? Before he got the vajayjay. And we had a whole system set up. But then the girls just started giving up their vajayjay for whoever the fuck they wanted to, right? They just start giving it up for free. And this is where the saying goes. Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? So all these, like After they have generation after generation, so for about 50 years now, the girls have just been giving up the vajayjay to whatever guy, whatever. So that was the breakdown of the relationship between men and women. Men no longer had to protect and provide or prove that they could. They just had to sort of fake it, fake the protection by going to the gym and getting a six pack. Or, and the mentality of women hasn't changed. They still look at that sexy guy like he can protect me if need be, right? Even though it's just put on, it's fake. It's not like he's doing actual work. Yeah, sure, he could maybe punch another guy in the face or something, or beat off the rabid dog, or something, but it's kind of fakery in the head at the moment. Yes, we have evolved. Yes, evolution has happened, and things have changed. But our evolution hasn't. Our brain is still working the same way as it did a long time ago. It's going to take thousands and thousands and thousands of years for the brain to catch up. So, um, so yeah, all he has to do is fake it and talk her panties off. And because she has the freedom to do so now, and the real freedom comes from the birth control, right? And the welfare and all the rest of it, all the other things that are destroying civilization. Um, so yeah, they can have fake sex. Sex used to mean that you are worthy and you chose me to be worthy. So now that was the first breakdown. The PP wanted the vajayjay, and the vajayjay said no until you proved that you were worthy. So these men would build themselves up and become more and more and more and more worthy, and then they would get to the vajayjay. But now, for Hollywood, for fuck's sakes, right? It's like the vajayjay is used to just get a job. You know, PP in the vajayjay doesn't automatically mean baby anymore. So it kind of allowed women to say, well, and it's kind of screwed things up. And now everything is all over there in flux, and now you have like a 95% divorce rate, single kids all over the place, strangers in, um, making minimum wage at the daycare center, raising your children, spending more time with your children than you, because you're off at work, being a strong, independent woman, right? Do you even know your neighbors? When was the last time you spent any time with your neighbors? How's your family? How's your Christmases going? Lots of people coming over to your house for Christmas? Lots of family and friends there? Are the people around you even close anymore? Because as we separate ourselves and tear, it's like how many people are spending Christmas by themselves? Hmm? How many of you have cats to substitute for children? The crazy cat lady is a thing, Um, yeah, it's just we knew how it worked, and it was basically women saying no, keeping those legs closed, and that's where the thing was, and that's why the first part of this radical feminism, anyway, was just throwing your pussy all over the place. Yeah, just fuck it all. Sexual liberation, they called it. Just fuck it all. Just let all the boys come inside your pussy. And then everything, the entire meaning of a man, the entire meaning of a woman went away. And it all had to be rebuilt. Now you could say that was a good thing, but it's a huge thing. And let's be honest, the birth rates are in the toilet. This, like the patriarchal societies are taking over. The patriarchal societies, And it's not freedom. It's not. This isn't even sustainable from a birth rate perspective. It's not sustainable. You got to be at home taking care of kids. That's just the way it is. And if you don't, then that civilization dies. It's just that simple. It gets replaced by a civilization that does, like African women are squishing out the babies at an extraordinarily high rate. 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 13 kids a piece. Middle Eastern women squishing out the kids like there's no tomorrow. It's all the feminist societies that are dying. And they have to be replaced by people from non-feminist societies. But then you're going to say, well, then they move over here and then we make them feminist. Well, okay, you can keep thinking that. But then you also have all of these women on welfare, right? And then you've broken the men. How many men are live in the ghetto and they just keep screwing all the chicks and they get all, and then just doesn't pay anything, or the trailer park or whatever you want, because the government's going to go bankrupt. It's not sustainable because it's not natural. And then the government gets big and out of control to try to patch the holes in this scenario, and it really boils down to just keep your legs closed until he puts a ring on it. That's it. That's it. That's civilization. It's super simple, really. But we're not going to go back to that, right? Because it's just so oppressive. Well, then die. Then just be that person. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be able to do what you want to do. You should. But it's just like that choice thing, right? Just because and actually it's interesting. In the trailer for Charlie's Angels, the Asian guy is sitting there at the table and he is saying to Kristen Stewart, just because you can do anything, it doesn't mean you should. Just because women can do anything that they want doesn't mean they should. And then that's supposed to be some gotcha from a feminist somewhere or something? Is it? Because it makes complete 100% sense. That is correct. That is 100% absolutely correct. Just because you can become a stripper doesn't mean you should. Just because you can do heroin doesn't mean you should. Just because you can sit there all day and watch television doesn't mean you should. Just because you can quit your job doesn't mean you should. Just because you can hit your, you can say that, you can't, there's some things that are illegal and those things you can't do. But you can do them. You just have to pay the price for them, right? But he didn't say just because it's legal, right? Just because it's legal, just because women can do legal things doesn't mean that they should do them all. Like, he didn't, but it's true. Just because you can screw, random guys doesn't mean you should. Just because you can cheat on your wife doesn't mean you should. Right? And so on and so on and so on. We already know how this all works, folks. We've figured it out. And then the birth control pill came in, and it really threw everything for a loop. And now you're, pitching frickin' female comic book movies with scenes from Bachelor proposals, De Beer Diamond commercials, Kim Kardashian's vampire facial, Fox anchors talking about women, Trump saying grab him by the pussy. After I showed the video, there was just silence. So they were speechless. They were so stunned at your Trump derangement syndrome, and, I hate what? I'm sure that I can imagine what this was, right? Just the mentally retarded mind of a feminist, just your standard woman in Hollywood these days. Trump derangement syndrome and all the rest, but I'm bringing politics to it. This is the entire motivation, her motivation of the movie. This is her basis of getting the movie made. This is her thoughts put into this video, this collage of video, which ended up, like I didn't see the movie, and nor will I. I'm done with comic books. You're gonna need everybody on the planet Earth to rate it a 10 out of 10 for me to go see another one, because I just don't care. I'm done with the superheroes. There's way too many, and I'm fucking over it. I need like fucking 5 years of no comic books. But you're not going to shut up about the ones that keep coming to the theaters. So once everybody stops talking about comic book movies, give it 5 years, and then I'll watch another one. But that's not going to be happening anytime soon. Probably I might die, and there's still going to be fucking comic book movies. And you won't shut up. You're not going to give anybody a break. You're just going to fucking more comic book movies and more and more and more. And they're going to be dumber and dumber and dumber and stupider. And more Trump derangement syndrome. And fucking Fox anchors talking about women. Because of course, right? Fox is the evil television network. Because you from, what is it, Singapore? Shanghai? I don't know where. I forget where you're from already. Anyway, a place where women are doing just fine, but you come over here and you're just like your standard Hollywood fucking Trump derangement syndrome retard. Standard leftist fucking scramble egg brain freaking feminist. Like seriously, when I heard a MGTOW guy, men going their own way, women that have identified women, the poison that is modern day feminism, and women, and just really analyze the fuck out of it. And this one guy, his name is Turd Flinging Monkey, he said, women are children. Women are children. And when I think of feminism, I literally think of a child. When I think of the stuff that comes from their brain and out of their mouth, I literally think of a child throwing a temper tantrum because they didn't get the candy in the middle of a grocery store, kicking up a scene, screaming and yelling and just being nonsensical and over emotional and just completely crying crocodile tears and just going in fucking insane. It's probably because they have no men to, show them what's up. Right? So they just end up in these over emotional fucking scrambled egg scenarios of just, and then, I think the evil communists like it. They just love women being miserable and over emotional and fucking tearing the places up with their stupid, and then training the next generation to be just as stupid. There was one radical feminist that she turned 60 or something like that, and then she wrote a book about looking back at her life, and she was like, wow, that was a mistake. No husband, no kids, no grandkids, all alone. Oh yeah, that was a mistake. By the way, and everything comes down to the purpose of life, the meaning of life. The meaning of life, the purpose of life, the reason you are here. It's funny that a lot of people, all the philosophers, all be everywhere. I figured it out. I'm the one guy on planet Earth. This is, if you're listening to this, I promise you, I've never heard this ever before. Now, maybe somebody else has said it. Maybe another person on planet Earth has come up with this before me, but I came up with it on my own. And if there is somebody else who has said this, I've never heard it. Now, to be honest with you, I haven't really looked either. But I came up with this all on my own, and this is how my brain works. I have literally come up with the meaning of life. You know, like, what's the meaning of life? What's the purpose of life? I used to think it was happiness. Happiness. Everybody to be happy. That was like my stupid, first year of college, 30 years ago, 35 years ago. No, 25 years ago. Brain. My 25-year-old brain, when I was asked, I wasn't asked what's the meaning of life. I was like, what is your goal in life? And I just said to be happy. And the person that I told that to was like, holy fuck, that's an amazing, instead of saying, very specific things, because like, I was smart enough back then to know that, well, I could say doing this or doing that, but really, I just think that those things will make me happy, and that's why I want them here today, because I'm moving towards that. But really, what I'm moving towards is happiness in each of those different things. And that was an unthinking, just automatic boom, 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 right from my head, out of my mouth, equals happiness. And the person I told that to was like, whoa, that's an awesome answer, right? And this is before the computers and the internet. We were literally talking to people, talking to each other back in those days, face to face. No fucking Googling or, what is a good answer to, no, that didn't exist. There was computers, but there was really no internet in the early 90s. I certainly didn't have a computer. I did, but you know what I'm saying. The internet wasn't what it is today, where if somebody asked you a question, you could just look it down on your phone and give them a really cool answer. No, that came from my head. Just happiness. And I thought that was the answer, but it's not. I was close, but not really. Not really. The purpose of life, the meaning of life, is life. What? The meaning of life, the purpose of life is life. That's it. That's all there is. It's not happiness. It's even deeper than happiness. Because you got to be alive to be happy. And so does, for anything to experience joy, they have to be alive. Now, don't get me wrong, we want to bring things into life and also make them happy, but that is life, right? Making a life happy makes more life. Like a happy, healthy cat will be more than happy to make some more happy, healthy babies and, make more life, right? A happy, healthy cow is going to be more than happy to make some little baby cows. A happy, healthy person is going to be more than happy to, is going to have the ability to, just happy, the purpose of life is life. And once you understand that happy just equals more life, right? It's the people who had a bad childhood who probably don't want to have children themselves, right? It's like, oh, I don't know if I could do it. It's like their own relationships are all messed up all over the place. They don't know whether they're coming or going. Not a happy house. You could be in prison. You could be fucking dead. You know. There's no father around, so you kind of were the protector. A lot of single mothers use their young sons as husbands. And before puberty or around puberty, you should not have to act like your single mom's protector. That's not the way it's supposed to be. And that's why so many young men die and are just screwed up in the head. And they just didn't have a man to look up to. You know, the purpose of life is life. So you go, well, what does that mean in reality? Well, it means that the purpose of life is life. If what you're talking about is bringing more life into the world, then that's good. If your purpose in life is to bring happiness, I guess you could say, happiness, health, and wealth to the life that is already here, then that's good, because that, and the reason for that is because happy, healthy, wealthy creates more life. You know, like for example, if you're a Joaquin Phoenix up on stage talking about veganism, well, he's not going to tell you that that makes your dick stop working. That you can, your menstrual cycles stop working because your body is saying we're not getting the nutrition. So obviously the world around this body is not good enough to have a child. So that body shuts down. No more, no more orgasms, no more erections, no more ejaculations, and for the woman, no more menstrual cycles. Because, bodies are a lot smarter than you give them credit for. And they, obviously, with the food that is coming in, with no meat, no dairy, no proteins, right? The dick shuts down, your private parts shut down, because they're saying, okay, the world around this body is not good enough to sustain life. It's not good enough to sustain life, so we're going to shut down the life-making organs of this body, and many other things, by the way. Your hair falls out, your teeth rot, just everything falls apart. Unless you're Joaquin Phoenix and you got millions of dollars to be followed around by a vegan doctor to inject you with all of the, things that you do need. So if you got millions of dollars to spend on, injections and this and that and all of the fucking specialized everythings, yeah, sure, then maybe if you had, but outside of that, no. You should see some of the horrific stories from these vegan types. And it's leftism is always like the abortion. The purpose of life is life. Well, abortion ain't that. Even, technically, contraceptives, birth control, whatever, right? The purpose of life is life, and well, I'm not going to have children. Well, that's not your purpose. That's not you're moving away. So the purpose of life is life, and in order to get life to want to move forward and create more life, then they have to be happy, healthy, wealthy. So we look at that, but then you see the socialism and it's fucking all starving and poor and hungry and fucking breadlines and everything else. So every leftist everything points to anti-life. There's less life. And that's why I'm so anti-left. Now the politicians, it's another ball game. It really is another ball game. Because the right-wing politicians are just as bad as the left-wing ones. For the most part. For the most part. It's like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. It's like you either got, the pot or the kettle, and they're both black. Burnt black. 6 of one, half a dozen of another. Our right-wing politicians, they talk about libertarianism and freedom and pro-life and all that kind of stuff, but what are they actually doing about it? Not much. Because they're just really lying, cheating, power-hungry scumbags, just like the ones on the left. Because government equals evil. So they just say whatever they need to say to their group, to their people to get elected. It's all fake. Anyway, so when you hear something like this, right? Scenes from The Bachelor. I wonder. Unfortunately, I haven't seen the sizzle reel anywhere, right? The source was from the New Yorker. I wonder if we can see the sizzle reel. No, we're not going to be able to see the sizzle reel. Oh, I don't think. No, that's something different. Nope. Accidental movie career. Oh, she was just so stunning and brave. She was able to put a compilation of feminist Trump derangement syndrome, you know, crap together. And then she got Birds of Prey. Okay. Oh my God, a woman of color did something, so let's just give her a job for sure. That's going to work out just fine. And she's got the same political retarded sensibilities as we do. You got the job. Here's $50 million. Just call us up if you need more. Oh, another 50 million. Okay, here you go. And from my understanding, Margot Robbie's production company was part of it too. And so she's taking a financial hit from that one. Ain't no, but I mean, whatever. I don't even care. Watching these Hollywood fail is kind of just like it's like a sport now. It's like a joy. Yes, people are out there saying, "Do you want the movie to fail? Do you want the movie to fail?" And it's like everybody's saying, "No, I want the movie to be good, but no, I want the movies to be bad. I want them to fail. I want this type of brain, the brain that is happening inside of these heads, to just I want their brains to be manifested in reality, and that reality to look back at them and say, you're a fucking idiot. Hollywood has gone so far fucking retard, it is off the chains. It is off the chart. Hollywood has gone so fucking retarded that they deserve to fail. The whole industry deserves to fail. And yes, I have enough balls down there between my legs to literally say I am looking forward to them failing. When I see things like the Oscars and all that, the dumbasses, when I see Jim Carrey's Twitter account, when I see Robert De Niro's talking about punching the president, when I see the producer of Stranger Things get up and talking about punching Nazis, when I see Brie Larson come out and talking about not hating white men, but we need fewer of them, reviewing movies, and so on and so on and so on, and then you see something like some chick with a fucking retard brain wants to come in and um, make a Birds of Prey movie. Well, some chick from a privileged background who's been given all the opportunities, she's just going to still be a feminist cunt. Yeah, of course we're going to give her $100 million to to make another comic book movie because that's what we do over here. That's what we do in Hollywood. See, here's something that I've learned. Here's something that I've learned. If you pitch a movie to the studios that doesn't fit their agenda, then they just say goodbye. If it's close, if they really want you as a person, but it doesn't fit their agenda, then what they do is they'll say yes, but and then it goes to the agenda um, department, and then they take a look at the script, and then they say, okay, well, this is just like a normal movie. We need to slide our agenda in here. So let's do this, let's tweak this, and let's do this, and do this, and do this. And that's how it works. It goes to the agenda people for the agenda to be added. And Dan Aykroyd let it slip. Dan Aykroyd let it slip in an interview one time that they wrote a script. Oh, that he will write a script or something like that, and then of course we send it off to the people to make sure that the politics are okay, to make sure that the agenda is all okay, and then we'll make the movie. He actually said it with his mouth. He was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, of course. Like that's just the way movies are made, right? We write the script, and then it goes to the people for them to make sure that the politics are on point, and then they give it back to us, and then we make the movie. It was just so matter of fact. Of course, that's what we do over here. It goes to the agenda people, and then it comes back. Now, who works at the agenda department? Oh, probably a bunch of commies, a bunch of ideologues, a bunch of lefties. I doubt there's any conservatives there, right? We know that. And it's like, how much can we push these days? How much do we want to push? How much are we going to pull back on? So, it's not all, it's like the entire system, yes. At the stage of getting your script even looked at, it has to fill an agenda. But if you somehow are a person of privilege in Hollywood, then you can get your script looked at, but then it still has to be put over there. It still has to go to the agenda department to make sure that it's ticking enough of the boxes. Dan Aykroyd was interviewed by, I forget who, but it was a Dan Aykroyd interview. I think it was 60 Minutes. I'm not going to look it up. You're going to have to trust me. But yeah, so, and like I said, this is all over the place. I don't know if they're talking about this stuff like it's stunning and brave. They certainly agree. Like most of these shill websites, just, yeah, of course we're leftists. If you're not a lefty, then, why are you even in this industry? But that's, there's many ways of, like, if you bring a normal movie script to them, they just keep saying no. Like, the BBC, or there was, who was it? Dolph Lundgren and, what's his name? Sylvester Stallone put together a movie or a television series, an idea, and they took it to the whatever, I forget, and they literally just said, no, we don't do men. We're not doing men. We're only doing women. Okay, so like, there's your agenda right there. We're only doing women. I'm pretty sure it was Dolph Lundgren and Sylvester Stallone put together a TV show idea and pitched it, and they're like, no, we just don't do men anymore. We're only interested in women at the moment. Okay, see ya. So they're putting their money where their mouth is. They don't want women, at home taking care of kids. So they're willing to drag them, give them jobs to, you know, waste their youth years, making movies, stupid movies, rather than, making kids and society and the next generation and all that. So it's nice of them to put their money where their mouth is anyway. Like they truly believe in this stuff, right? They'll all sacrifice their kids on the altar of trans. Like all of their boys are in dresses, right? Well, most of them anyway. A lot of them. These Hollywood types will sacrifice their own children on the altar of, all this. because they're just so stunning and brave. They don't. They do buy it all. And see, this is how the leftist narrative just gets nurtured and just spun around, and it's just this one big bubble, and they just think, of course we are God's gift to mankind. Look at me, I'm on stage telling people to not put milk in their coffee. I won Best Actor for Joker, and now I get to use this as a podium to tell the world to stop, putting milk in their coffee, because that's supposed to be for the baby. That you also ripped away from her. But he forgot to mention that the only reason why that baby and that cow even exist is because we eat them. Yeah, because if we didn't eat them, they wouldn't even be there. They wouldn't have any. And see, so this is what you do, right? Remember I said, once you know the purpose of, once you understand from the root, the basics, the basis of the thing, and you truly understand it, you got to bring things back down to the root. Bring back things down to the root. Where did this thing all start? Oh, that's where we went wrong. Because at this spot, if you get down to the root of the issue, then you go, okay, so that's the root and that's the thing. Well, the root is the purpose of life is life. And if you're to take a look at, the cow thing, the vegan thing, you go, well, okay, well, the vegans don't want to hurt the animals. But the animals won't even exist if we didn't eat them. So which one equals more life? The meat eaters that make the animals and then kill them to eat them, or the vegans that don't make the animals at all? Which one equals more life? Well, the meat eater. At least that chicken lives that 3 years, or however long it is, I don't know. That cow lives the 10 years. Maybe that. Do I think, and see, but this is where I can get on board with, and by the way, I'm talking about philosophy, not politics. But this is where I can get on board with some of the, be nice to animals things. Because yes, I do believe that a happy, healthy animal is going to be more life producing. But at the same time, it's money. And money is an important thing. Don't fucking tell me it's not. It can make you homeless. It can make you starve to death. Or it can make you a fucking millionaire. Or a billionaire. Or it can make you give $50 million to an Asian girl with almost no experience with no experience, let's just be honest. An Asian girl with no experience, and then you can bomb at the box office. And then you can scream and scream and scream and scream about all the bad men that tanked this movie, and then you can find out later on that, oh yeah, this is absolutely a feminist. The whole thing was sold on feminist garbage and gobbledygook. Maybe those people that were complaining about the feminist bullshit actually were making a decent point, and they had something real to say. But no, we're just going to go with, those mean boys out there, those patriarchal meanie boys, tanked the movie for no reason whatsoever. There was no agenda in this movie. There was nothing going on. It's just Hollywood, it was just some nice girls doing a nice movie together. And like I said, I got every problem in the world with Joaquin Phoenix as an individual. But as long as his mouth just stays his mouth. But just don't shut me up. He can say that don't use milk, and I get to say you're a fucking idiot. Okay, but I can separate that from the movie. And the Joker movie was really kind of right down the middle. It's whatever you wanted it to be. If you were a lefty and you wanted the movie to be pro-lefty, then believe it or not, it was. If you were a right winger and you wanted the movie to be pro right winger, then guess what? It was. I'm literally telling you, the Joker movie is a love letter to lefties, and if you're a right winger, the movie is a love letter to right wingers. And guess what? I haven't even seen the movie, but I've heard enough people talking about it all over the place. I've seen enough of the clips, and I've heard this. I've heard the story. You know, the lefties are going to say, well, see, you know, the poor downtrodden guy, you cut off his welfare, and then he went crazy. And other pieces, and then I would, well, but just that one piece, right? And I'm like, well, see, these poor welfare bums are just sitting around waiting for you to, you know, keep them alive. And as soon as you stop doing that, they're just going to be themselves, which are useless fucking destructive retards, right? So I can look at it that way. And then there's the other piece. Well, see how he beat those Trump, you know, sort of Wall Street guys. He killed those Wall Street guys, those meanie Wall Street guys. And I was like, and then I'm like, well, he really went overboard. He's a crazy motherfucking lefty that, you know, that took bullying, a little bit of ribbing, way too far, and he went psycho on it. You know, so if somebody bullies your son, you're going to go over to that bully's house and kill his family, are you? Is that the answer? What, you can't, the lefties are so soft that they can't take a little bit of, you know, an asshole being an asshole. You know, that's how men push each other. That's how men used to test each other out. They used to get into fights and wrestle around and go out behind the school and trade, you know, trade fists to learn each other, to teach, you know, to learn. And men fighting has been forever. Every single fucking species of animal there is, almost. Well, half of them, the male fight in front of the woman. Well, not necessarily, but they fight. Men fight. That's what they do. Look at boxing. Jesus Christ, men fight. Get over it. But as soon as you show a little bit of that masculinity in this movie, like the guys kind of bullying, you know, the rich guys, you know, cock of the walk peacocks, being pricks to the people around them, the lefty is like, no, they gotta die now. Now, I don't know how bad it got, really. I'm sure they probably went overboard, but here's another one. And then he starts his lefty cult of the revolution, right? Well, all these poor people, you know, just keep yipping and yapping. But why don't you get off your fucking fat ass and go get a job? Why are you screaming at everybody else to fucking pay your bills? Start a fucking business. Get off your ass and do something. So, I mean, this movie, literally, as I was told it could be a love letter to either side. You know, but the whole basis of it is, you know, just keep giving him welfare so that he fucking just keep feeding the welfare so he can buy his stupid pills and keep giving him welfare. It's like this endless black hole of resources, of money, just to keep this guy from, you know, content enough so that he doesn't go on a fucking murdering spree? I don't think so. But the lefties were like, oh, that's so, you know. So it could be whatever you want it to be. And that, to me, now, I don't know if it was a real thing or an accidental thing or what, but it certainly worked. Now, part of it was just because it was the Joker, and if you put Joker on something, then everybody's going to go see it, because the fucking comic book people are just crazy. If you put a comic book on something, they're just going to go, especially the A-list comic book people. But see, that's another thing too, is you bring out his girlfriend in the very next movie, and Joker doesn't exist, and it's just, And by the way, when I saw that trailer, that fight scene, I mean, really, really, Asian girl, maybe you should go back to a movie making school. It's like they see these girls, these people just move into these positions, executive positions, even though it's way beyond them, but they do it anyway, and they're in way over their head. But they don't care because their female sensibilities will just, it's like, no, it's going to be everybody else's fault. It's everybody else's fault. It's everybody else's fault. It's not me. I didn't tank the company. I didn't lose money. It's everybody else. It's everybody else. It's everybody else. So, like, it's just that inflated sense of ego that, people are blowing up female assholes, right? Not necessarily assholes. I mean, their butts. Keep blowing up their butts. And then it's just all gobbledygook up here, and it's like, well, now I'm the king of the heap, and but like I don't really know what I'm doing, or I'm in over my head, or I know they, whatever, but it just keeps happening over and over again, and so I don't have a problem with Hollywood failing. I say the sooner the better. I say that this Hollywood sign needs to burn. And then people, small independent creators like this guy in the background, who's just like a normal dude. I'm just randomly pointing at somebody. He can make a small movie for a small amount of money with him and his 5 buddies, and then, and it work, because Hollywood is not sucking up all of the energy. It's just little tiny independent little guys in the back, or over here, just, or girls, whatever. Just small, like just spread it out. No more having this, 5 companies in charge of everything, and they all think the same. They're all on the same ideological page, and then they all have the same ideological department to send their scripts to make sure that it ticks all the boxes. Just independent filmmaking. Put it up on YouTube, ask for donations, collect the ad revenue, maybe do a pay-per-view, on day one, or maybe you're doing a GoFundMe or something, or whatever, just little independent things. People are doing it all over YouTube. The productions cost, like I'm doing it right now. Productions cost anywhere from nothing, like me, to hundreds or thousands, maybe tens of thousands of dollars for a YouTube channel, but not much more than that. So small, independent little things. It's great. This is libertarianism, folks. This is freedom. Instead of the big guys with the monopoly on the ideology that gets sucked into movies, shoehorned into movies, it's whatever you want. And by the way, you can still make these films if you want. You wouldn't be able to make it Birds of Prey. Like, the big guys have made sure that they own all the intellectual property, but do your own thing. Do a new thing, create your own IPs. Or actually, better yet, make them go bankrupt so that those IPs just kind of float around and anybody, Night of the Living Dead style. Public domain, Creative Commons style. Well, so yeah, but yeah, don't fucking come at us and talk to us about, or me anyway, and say, why do you keep bringing politics up? Why do you keep bringing politics into the movies? I don't want to talk about politics. I just want to talk about the movie. Please leave your politics over there so we can just get busy talking about the movie. Well, you're a dumbass. If you don't think that we don't see this shit, all the lefty commie propaganda being shoved in the stuff, maybe you don't see it because you just take it for granted now. And when you actually see something opposite to it, you're like all triggered. It's like, oh my god, she's a stay-at-home wife. That's so fucking. It's the patriarchy. She's staying at home, taking care of her husband. Like somebody came out and said, somebody, um, I think a celebrity said that she makes her husband lunch, and everybody just fucking went crazy. He can't make his own lunch. What are you? A fucking barefoot and pregnant too? And on and on and on. They just wouldn't shut up. So when it's their politics, they have no problem spewing all over the place, right? Because that's what it's about. It's like, my politics are okay and yours aren't. Well, my politics is common normal life. Yours is being a fucking commie retard. So don't tell me that my politics are wrong and yours are right, because you're wrong. And the saying goes, and I'll keep saying it over and over and over again. First of all, and by the way, just start using this rule of thumb. The meaning of life is life. Which of these things creates more life? A feminist or a stay-at-home mother? Which one is more life-giving? A playboy that has got a vasectomy and just screws all the prostitutes, or a father? As just a stay-at-home or a husband, father. Which one creates more life? Works every time. Which one creates more life? Pro-life or pro-choice? Which one creates more life? Which one nurtures life? Which one is pro-life? Actually, that's a weird one, right? So, the meaning of life is life. If you're upset and depressed, and you're wondering what the meaning of life is, or you just decide to ponder that, it's life. It's just that simple. Just create life, nurture it, and all the life around you make as good as you can. As good as you can. Because that life will create more life. Now, there's some life that just wants to eat you. The mosquito just wants your blood, that wants to eat you. Now, I don't think that you give up. I think pests are okay to shoo away and kill. That snake wants to eat your baby. That python. It's okay to kill it when it tries to. And then you eat it, right? Anyway. So yeah, don't fucking come at me with your, why are you bringing politics into all the movies? Why don't you shut up about politics? No, you want me to shut up about politics because I'm not on the left, like you are. You are more than happy to shit out your freaking dumbass commie Bernie bro politics all over the place. And the saying goes, if you're not a socialist when you're 20, you have no heart. If you're still a socialist when you're 30, you have no brain. It's very true. Get the fuck over it. Freedom is the answer 100% of the time. It doesn't matter that, we don't know what to do with all these black people after we make them free. It does not matter. It does not matter. What are we going to do with these black people now that they're free? Well, we can't make them free. What are they going to do? It doesn't matter. You make them free anyway, and then you figure it out. Because that whole thing was immoral, and it was wrong. It doesn't matter that you can't see beyond that. It's just like government. It doesn't matter that you can't see beyond, giving half of your shit to the government. It doesn't matter that you can't see beyond that. You do it anyway, because it's the right thing to do. Just like slavery. You make them free, and then you deal with their freedom. as you would, anything else that of radical change. It's just like being a libertarian. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to know exactly. You don't have to have everything. But you do have to end the government and the Fed and the wars. And obviously end anybody, well, not anybody, but I guess you can still talk about the idea, freedom, talk about whatever the fuck you want. But when you talk about, government, I can talk to and tell you how much of an idiot you are. And how these lefties are just playing into the, like literally their leaders are coming out as communists. You don't think that they didn't know that? You don't think that they have been manipulating the hell out of you, using feminism and racial grievances and sexualities all over the place? They've been using you. They are messing with your mind so that you will become stupid enough to fall for communism. And by the way, all those gender, racial, and sexuality grievances, once you actually get the communism, in 5 years, all that goes away. And if it doesn't go away, then you get a bullet in the face. Liberals get the bullet too. Every communist will tell you. You are being manipulated. You are being broken down to vote for the communist. And literally, your leaders, your Cenk Uygurs, your Bernie Sanders, and all the rest, all friggin' various levels of communist, and you still can't see it? Well, okay. This is communism right here. This is somebody willingly taking on the plight of bringing in communism, and it's too bad that she's fucking Asian too. It's like fucking Andrew Yang and his fucking freedom dividend, universal basic income. And Tim Pool too. Tim Pool is going to be a lefty until he's dead. He's just going to, on his deathbed, he's going to be a nice guy lefty. Nice. I'm the nice guy leftist. I'm the nice guy communist. And then he'll say something like, I don't understand anything about economics, but here's what you should do economically. Whatever. Doesn't make a fucking lick of sense. He can't even show you his bald head. Too embarrassed about his bald head. You think he's, you think he's the one? He's the one to get your news from? He's a nice guy lefty. We just need the right level of government. Why is the government just getting bigger and bigger and bigger every year? Well, don't you think we should slow it? When? Bigger government, 100 years ago has been well surpassed today, and there's no stop. It just keeps, every year it gets bigger, costs more debt, more wars, more welfare, more. How big do you want this thing, Tim? Do you want it to go bankrupt next year? You're just going to increase the size and scope of government so that we get communism. Is that it? How can anybody ask for more government? You can't even afford the government it's got. Look at the debt. Look at the unfunded liabilities. Some say America is $200 trillion in debt. How is it going to pay that stuff? It's just going to go in more debt? How the fuck could you not be a libertarian these days? It's like, it's like having a credit card with, let's just say, a $1 million limit, and you're already at $10 million, and you just keep spending. You just keep saying, well, let's go out shopping. Yeah, but we're already $9 million over our budget, and you want to keep going shopping? That's what a lefty is today. Don't get me wrong, the right-wing politicians, the right wing, the people that make up the right wing are correct. That's all we can hope for, by the way. We can just hope to change the minds of individuals. You're not going to change the mind of government. George Bush was an asshole from A to Z. He was a complete and utter fucking disaster in every way. Bank bailouts, fucking new wars, massive spending, Department of Homeland Security, the TSA, new government, entire departments. He grew the size. He was the opposite of right wing. So your politicians ain't gonna fucking do a goddamn thing. They're all assholes. Trump, believe it or not, is not doing too bad for a right winger. I mean, usually the left wing, right wing, it doesn't fucking matter. The same shit is gonna happen. Everybody's just gonna be fucking greedy and corrupt. And fucking tank the fucking everything. The debt, the economy, everything. They're just gonna destroy it. Left, right, doesn't matter. They don't even care. It's so fucking far gone. It's so corrupt. It's so garbage. It's just they think that I don't care. Just it's not true, by the way. It's absolutely fixable. Absolutely. You shut it down. There, fixed. Fixed. Just like slavery. Shut it down. Fixed. No more slavery. Shut it down. What do we do with all those slaves? Well, let them decide. They'll figure it out. Maybe they'll continue to work for you for a wage. They probably will for a while. And then the guy next door will say, we'll offer them an extra penny an hour. And then they'll go to work for them. And then the next one will offer another penny an hour. Then they'll go to work for them. And they'll keep doing that until people stop offering them more money. And then they stay there. That's how capitalism works. That's how freedom works. But yeah, this turning it all fucking commie just doesn't seem like a very wise thing to do, right? You know, have you not seen the communism worldwide? And see, like it's weird. You know, all these Hollywood people coming out as Bernie Bros. Really? Really? You don't have enough free time to take a look at the fucking commies, this and the commie that? Or are you just one of those evil bad? Are you... See, there's only two types of lefties. Stupid or evil. Right? So you're telling me that you're trying to pass on to me like you're one of the stupid ones that's just buying into the, you know... Of course everything should be free. You know, that's just because we're nice people. You know, college debt is a problem. Let's just do away with, you know, college tuitions altogether and make it free. Are you just one of those stupid people that just like, yeah, just make everything free? Free sounds good. I like the word free. Let's just make it all free. So, or are you one of the evil ones? It's like, yeah, I'm a fucking evil commie. I can't wait to fucking, you know, destroy this country and destroy fucking global capitalism and destroy the global economy and fucking, you know, rule with an iron fist and get all those people I don't like up against the wall and shoot them in the back of the head and the gulags and the fucking everything. And then the poor, and then I only give food out to the people that I like, and then all the corruption and the evil. You remember China with their one-child policy? I can fucking tell anybody to do whatever I want, and if they don't do it, I'm gonna fucking blow their face off. Rule with an iron fist, tell everybody what to do, and then everybody just gets plunged further and further and further into poverty. Or maybe they think communism hasn't been working because America has been holding the other communism back. It doesn't work on any level, this bullshit. And if you're one of the dumb guys that says, free sounds good, I really like the word free. Oh wow, Andrew Yang is going to give me $1,000 a month? That's fantastic. I like thousands of dollars. That's good. I want that. So maybe you're just one of those dumb guys that's just, you know, you heard it, you read it on a bumper sticker and now you just go with it. Or you realize that, you know, this communism thing has been an utter fucking disaster and plunges everybody into poverty, and government isn't capable of running everything, and the amount of control and lack of freedom And the craziness of it is everybody's poor, hunger, starving, or dead. North Korea's fucking bullshit. No, you're just gonna. Bernie Sanders is a nice guy communist. He's one of the nice ones. He's gonna be the nice one. And gosh darn it, he's not gonna win this election, but we can still be communists and we can still hope for the next one. Maybe we'll assassinate Trump. Oh, but that won't work because then he'll have Mike Pence. We don't want him either. He's gonna electrocute the gay away. Um, anyway, so yeah, don't fucking tell us about, um, reading too much into the fucking politics. Being, your Hollywood has been infected by leftism from A to Z, and we see it. And yes, sometimes, every once in a while, something squeaks out that can kind of speak to both sides, or that isn't too bad, or maybe is just doesn't deal with it at all. But you see, here's the problem: is Hollywood has the problem of sheer incompetence, their inability to do good work. Like that fight scene, I mean, you gotta imagine she was the one who well, I don't know if she choreographed it, but she certainly filmed it and she's put it in the can. Oh yeah, that's good enough. That fight scene in that trailer was god fucking awful, and that's the best that you can do. Saggy boobs. Might want to get a push-up bra for those things. Oh my God, you're raping me with your ideas about my boobs. Leave my boobs alone. If I want them to sag, I'll let them sag. Which it? Don't be a Fox anchor telling me about women and my boobs, and don't grab my pussy. Um, Trust me, I don't want to have anything to do with it. I'm gay. I'm saying your boobs look saggy, and you might want to lift them up a bit. This is not a third world country. But anyway, good for you for you know having your boobs sag down so that you turn the male gaze away, right? You just you're having men think that you're ugly, and that's just exactly. And see, by the way, that's the thing, right? The PP and the vajayjay wants to ultimately make a baby, or it's gonna make a baby. I shouldn't say it wants to make a baby. The PP just wants to get the seed out. But the results of that used to be, up until 50 years ago, the results, or 70 years ago, whatever you want to say, the results were baby. So then now we got baby, a pregnant woman and baby, that has to be dealt with. It wasn't, it was just PP wants the vajayjay. And instinctually, even before, when we were all cave people, we knew that, okay, well, this baby is going to grow up. And I don't know, maybe because we grew up, and then our PP started the, to point in different directions. And then, so because we grew up, we knew that, I guess, it was just automatically known. It's shocking to me how stupid some animals can be, but how loving they are to their children. What I'm saying is this very instinctual, this parenting, this motherhood bond, and so on. But now just women are going to be like, no, no, don't look at my boobs. Just don't know. You know, I'm trying to repel the pee-pee. I'm a lesbian. I don't like pee-pees. I like girl. I'm a rug muncher. Or whatever it is, right? I don't know. Who knows? But I mean, this frumpy looking thing, right? Kind of like the frumpy looking girl. The characters in the movie were all frumpy looking, fucking old. What are you, a superhero? How old are you? 80? I'm gonna beat up men. Well, thank God, all those men that were coming at you were waiting their turn. They were all lined up in a row, so you could just take on one at a time, right? Yeah, you're just so stunning and brave. I'm getting tired of this. I get it. Men on men fights in movies are also fake. But guess what? There's something sensible about them where it isn't with women. I'm not saying women can't lose control of their emotions and scrap now and again. That happens. That does happen. But it's not and I'm not just talking about women humanoids. I'm talking about women animals too. But it's a lot rarer, right? Because they're probably pregnant or they're going to be pregnant and they know that they got kids to take care of, and it's not really a woman's domain to be fighting. So, and that's another thing that is super stupid about like girl boxers or MMA. Yeah, see, I can do all the things men can do. Well, you can do it in the women's league. You can't do it with the men. Yeah, but we're just gonna see women. It's feminism, women can do whatever men can do. Well, yes, but inferiorly. Don't say that word. You're sexist. Well, okay, don't talk then. You can't if you can't see. Like I get it. A lot of you guys need to fucking just shut up, and that's why men and women need their own spaces so that they can be free to talk about the other sex the way it needs to be talked about. But yes, and when women are complaining, that's all he wants is sex. Yeah, yeah, that's it. That you don't the seed being made down there needs to come out. It's either going to come out by hand, or the best way for it to come out is, in the hole of their choosing, what they're attracted to. I hate to break it to you, but that's as crass and crude. That's what it's all about. It's what it sees, it really, really likes, and it just gets the juices flowing and just wants to, you know, over and over and over again. That's what it's about. Just, I don't know, get over it. But whatever. You go ahead and make some more. I'm looking forward to your next movie. What's your name? Um, Kathy Yan. I'm looking forward to your next movie because Hollywood just is not going to give up on this bullshit mental retardation, right? So I'm sure you're going to be a hot commodity, especially after this. This is probably going to be good for your career. Oh, she's got the exact politics that we want to spread, so let's just get her for the next one so we can fail again and again and again. We don't care. We don't care about the money. We got the government is going to give us some tax breaks, and they'll give us some drug money to launder through so we can keep cashing these big, biggity big checks that we keep sending out to all of our other commie lefty buddies that, hang out in the casting couches and the kiddie parties and the Epstein Islands and all this stuff. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. And, like, I wonder, you talk about, like this type of ideology coming, kind of being the central focus, the sort of, like, this is like a business proposal, right? So in business, if you wanted to go to somebody for money, you would put together a business proposal and a presentation. Kind of like Shark Tank or Dragon's Den, right? You put together a proposal. This is hers for this movie. This is hers for this movie. Fox, Trump, vampire facials, diamonds, and Marilyn Monroe. Did Marilyn Monroe do that song? Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend? Was she the first one to do the song? I don't know. But, it went into the movie, Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, this thing. Madonna did it like 10, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. I don't know why you're going to get Harley Quinn to do it. But anyway, I just wonder, now that, like this movie is flopped, it's a thumbs down. I don't care what you call a flop and what you don't call a flop. You take the production budget, which, by the way, keeps $2 million opening preview. It's hard to tell about these things because it's a kids movie, so maybe the previews are going to be a bit low. You have to get, and just simply put, first of all, this website is saying it's an $82 million budget. Some Websites are saying it's 100 million. 97.1 is the highest I've seen. So I don't know what the actual budget is, and they're never going to tell us. Like I said, my tinfoil hat tells me that a lot of Hollywood's cashola is just drug money. CIA, big drug money. It's the laundering system for drugs. Now, $82 million worldwide. Or sorry. This number has to be a 3. A 3.0 in my world. But again, you're never going to know if you have the correct numbers. They're not going to tell you. I'm sure that there's all sorts of shady. When you got millions and tens of millions and hundreds of millions and billions of dollars flying all over the place, I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of hands grabbing up and putting it in their pocket and just grabbing. And it's an industry ripe for corruption, is what I'm saying. So I'm sure there's lots there. Anyway, we can only go with the numbers we've got, and this has to be a 3. 3.0 or higher. 3.0 is a thumbs up. Anything lower than that is a thumbs down. And again, we just got the numbers we got. They're probably wrong, so it's a flop. And I'm wondering, is that going to affect James Gunn, the funny pedo Joker? The guy who loves his pedophile jokes? And I'm going to be talking endlessly about that when the Suicide Squad comes out. Disney's pedophile Joker, James Gunn, presents his new movie, his new kids movie called The Suicide Squad. James Gunn, of all the pedophile jokes that you've been told, which one is your favorite? How come you erased your Twitter account after people, started to get hip to your pedophile jokes? Pedophile jokes day after day after day after day for years. And are you a pedophile? Why would somebody who's not a pedophile make pedophile jokes day after day after day after day after day? Oh, you just thought it was funny? So why did you dress up and go to pedophile parties? Why did you and your friends dress up like children so often and, just go to adults dressing like children parties? Oh, you thought that was just funny? So children are funny, pedophile jokes are funny, and now you work for Disney. So have you ever met a pedophile? That sort of thing. Trust me, I don't got any time for this bullshit. And now you're gonna say he didn't even get charged for pedophilia. He's not a pedophile. They were just jokes. He was just trying to be funny, and fine. And I'm just gonna be out there reminding everybody that Disney has hired, or actually this one is gonna be Warner Brothers. Suicide Squad is Warner Brothers, but then he'll be back to Disney for Suicide Squad Part 3. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So, yeah, Disney has no problem hiring people that just think pedophile jokes are just super funny, and I would just like to get to the bottom of that. And I think we should talk endlessly about all of the pedophile jokes that he has said. Now, I'll bring some up. RT, Pateraltron. I like it when little boys touch me in my silly place. Shh. My new film,
Jerkloose, a small town where beating off is illegal. And one high school kid jerks off in front of the others to show how fun it is. Photo with whatever and whatever, whomever. I'm trying to maintain a semi-chub so that I'll look impressive in these photos. The Hardy Boys and the mystery of what it feels like when Uncle Bernie fists me. The Expendables was so manly. I fucked the shit out of the little pussy boy next to me. And so on and so on and so on and so on. I'm sure that's, it's just commonplace for, it's super mega normal to tell pedo jokes day after day after day after day and revolt, it's just kind of like, James Carey and his Trump derangement syndrome art. Spend all day doing your art and painting up, all of your Trump derangement syndrome and getting it out there and calling everybody a Nazi that doesn't agree with you. I'm sure you're a well-adjusted human being. But whatever, right? Whatever. Pause it if you wanted to. Go back and pause it and read those things for yourself. Just pedo joke after pedo joke after pedo joke, but it's those darn conservatives, those darn Christian conservatives, with wives and mothers that love their husband, love their home, love their kids, and love their grandkids, and just love t-ball and birthday parties and soccer practice and plays and homework and cleaning and cooking and staying attractive for her husband. Yeah, those ones are the problems. Not these ones. These ones are the good ones, right? This one is the good one with her fucking bachelor proposals, De Beers diamond commercials, Kim Kardashian's vampire facial, Fox anchors talking about women, Trump saying, grab him by the pussy after I showed of course, that's the one. That's the one. That's the winner. That's the one that we want to put on a pedestal and give a microphone to. Megaphone. Get that girl a job. Anyway, I'm done here. Don't ever fucking come at us and say, why are you bringing politics into, why do you keep talking about politics in the movies? Why do you keep talking about politics in the movies? Ugh. Shut up, you dumb fuck. Anyway, we'll talk to you later. Bye now.